Can we talk some Broncos?
Yeah, because he's been writing about Von Miller and stuff.
yeah.
So let's bring up his.
That's who we're going to talk about right now.
He
Von
and
Miller.
Kisla are all over Von Miller. It's like we've assigned 2 reporters to follow
That's right.
Von Miller everywhere he goes.
All Von.
It's a big guy.
365.
You need
He's a
2
big
people.
guy.
One
He's a
on
big
each
guy.
arm.
That's right.
Carry you around. Hi, I'm Von Miller.
Could you
Meet
imagine?
Mark Kisla and meet
He
Benjamin
probably
Hochman.
could.
All right. Von Miller says the Broncos will have the #1 defense in the NFL. In fact, let's look at the quote. Exact quote from Von Miller. We're going to be the best defense. We're going to be the best team out there. I'm going to be the best player in the NFL this year. I always went into the season with that mindset. This year is no different.
JJ Watt.
Can the Broncos be not just a top 5 defense? Can the Broncos be the #1 defense in the NFL? Do they have that capability? Do they have
Seattle's
the talent? Do
pretty
they have the
good.
coaching? Can they do that?
I could think it'd be in the top 3, huh? What do you mean? I don't know about #1, but that year in 2011 they were #2.
He wants to be the best.
All right, I'm saying
Best,
Seattle.
best.
Seattle's pretty good. Seattle's pretty good.
You know, the most important thing out of this past week or so, I like Emmanuel Sanders and Von Miller saying it's about time someone took on a Seattle kind of. We are the best.
Swagger is
I
what
like
you're talking
that.
about. Swagger.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired of what's been existing here for a long time, where the offensive lineman never said anything. Ryan Clady's saying yesterday, "Yeah, I wasn't completely healthy.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that he's admitting that he really wasn't the player that he used to be. I like Emmanuel talking about what it is, Super Bowl or bust. That is the truth. It's not playoffs or bust here anymore. It's got to be Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah.
When Brock Osweiler comes along, you go, yeah, we're going to be in the top 12 this year. That's fine. But
Best defense.
Best defense? Wade Phillips is a great defensive coach. He says he's a lousy head coach, but he wasn't that lousy a head coach.
He was not, no.
Except in Dallas. Those 4 players from last year on defense, was it 3 on defense?
What's that?
That they brought in the
free
offseason?
agents? Yeah.
Talib, DeMarcus Ware, and T.J. Ward.
Yeah, okay, those 3. Chris Harris Jr.
They've got 5 Pro Bowl players on defense,
And
guys.
they drafted the rookie who was amazing last
That's
year.
half the defense.
Right.
5 Pro Bowl players on defense.
Yeah.
They
And
should-
Trevathan's
should
coming
be,
back.
And
You say-
Trevathan and Brandon Marshall have Pro Bowl capabilities,
I was trying to think who else is good. Seattle, we know, is good, but who else is really good in the league? They should be in the top. I would say
Buffalo was a good defense last year.
Oh, Buffalo!
They were good defense
I don't
last
want to
year.
talk about Buffalo under any circumstance.
Well,
You
let
sound
me just say, hey.
you sound like Rex Ryan.
They've got Pro Bowlers at linebacker and Pro Bowlers in the defensive backfield.
Did they?
My only concern,
Did they come in here and beat the Broncos in the playoffs? No, I guess
my
not.
only
I-
concern
I'm
was
getting
the
confused.
defensive line.
If Buffalo Bills.
We're off the Bills. We're talking about the Broncos.
They were
Kelly
good in
retire
91.
yet?
They were
My
really
only
good in
concern on
91.
this defense would be the defensive line, because now you're talking about a starting 3 of
Yeah.
Derek Wolfe, Sylvester Williams, and Malik Jackson. All right?
yeah.
They've got some decent depth with Antonio Smith and
Marvin Austin.
and Marvin Austin back there as well. I don't know much about the Vance Walker kid, but I like the depth. I'm not sure about. I think Terrence Knighton could be a loss.
Yeah, well,
Not
I mean,
having him in the middle of that defense.
I think they might have known some
the
stuff we
Terrence-
didn't know, though.
The Terrence Knighton that you liked could
Right.
be a loss.
He was
Is
very
that
good against the
Terrence
run.
Knighton going to be that Terrence Knighton?
Well, let me tell you
Nobody
something,
else
guys.
liked him.
Right, a 1-year deal.
They
with
were
Washington.
they were the 9th best defense in the league against the pass. They were the 2nd best defense in the league against the run. They gave up less than 80 yards a game against the run.
For many weeks in a row, they were the best.
With a healthy Von Miller, he's not coming off knee surgery. DeMarcus Ware playing a position he's more comfortable with.
Under a coach he knows.
Under a coach he knows. And the addition of Wade Phillips, as you said, a very good defensive coach, and we know they're going to be more of an attacking defense. Are they a top 3? I'll go
Definitely.
your way.
Yeah,
Are they a
definitely.
top 3 defense?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't show up that well in the Indianapolis game, but I was always pretty high on this defense last
Five
year.
would be good. I think if
Yeah.
you're in the top five.
Five? I mean, are we
because
splitting hairs at this
your,
point?
Your offense is going to be good with Peyton Manning, despite what people might think about whether he should have come back or not. They're going to be a top 5 offense. I mean, when you believe with their wide receivers,
absolutely.
with their running game,
They've got
Gary
5 Pro
Kubiak,
Bowls on offense.
So they're
Pro
going
Bowl
to be
players on
they're going to be in
offense.
the top 5 offensively.
Sure.
I think everybody would take 5 offensive, number 5 offensively, number 5 defense.
And Woody, with my punter, they're going to be number 1 in special teams.
Special
What's
teams.
his name again?
What was his name?
Schmitz?
Carl Schmitz, my best friend.
Yeah, from
But,
Hogan T. Ross.
guys,
Clayton High School.
on a more serious note, the one thing they need to do, the one thing they need to do better than they have done over the last half a decade,
What's that?
they need to create turnovers.
I'll take it. And maybe draft one.
I think it's been their biggest
Right.
deficiency is their inability to create turnovers. And if they can do that,
Yeah.
then you're talking possibly a number one defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to write for Sunday, and I'll give everybody a tease, being like him. I'll
'Cause
go
I'm
ahead
a
and
big
tell you.
tease.
You are a
I
big
don't think
tease.
we don't have any competition in terms of newspapers.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well,
But I've been studying the schedule of the schedule I want, because the schedule comes out next week.
yeah.
And I'll just give you a hint. Wouldn't you want to play Detroit, Indianapolis, and San Diego in December on the road?
Detroit, Indianapolis, and yeah.
Domes and
out
Domes and nice weather.
Yeah,
of course.
So I think a lot of that. I think it's a more difficult schedule than they're given credit for. It's not considered a really difficult schedule until you look at who the quarterbacks of the other teams are.
Sure.
I don't know who said it was an easy schedule, but I think what's going to be important to this season is where they play. We know who they're going to play, but when they play them,
Yeah.
and where we know where they're going to play them, but at what point in the season they play them.
What
I wanna-
season in the season?
I
fall
want.
or
I'm going
winter?
to tell you. I want the Minnesota Vikings opening the season in Denver because I want a Nebraska kind of schedule where I have a cupcake right
Sure.
away because I'm adjusting to all these things.
Yeah.